Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Barbarian and this is Crusader Kings 83rd Dev Diary, and this 83rd Dev Diary is the one in which we not just, get something that is a really cool mechanic. Don't let me discount it, it's really neat. We're gonna do that in the second section of the video. That is the mechanic, related to adventures and getting unique artifacts, really cool stuff. But this is also the Dev Diary, where at the end of it, which is why we're here, this is the most important stuff, we all know it, they are announcing the release date for the Royal Court. This year has not been without news of all sorts, and we do our best to be the first to give you all of your Crusader Kings news. I wish I could read. This time is no exception, and we are glad to announce without any further ado that Royal Court will be released February 8th, 2022. There you have it. February 8th, 2022. We are finally there, we finally know when it's gonna hit. And honestly, it's a bit early than I thought. I thought it would be the 14th because that is the anniversary of CK2, but it is close enough at the end of the day. It is 2022, of course. My worst concerns were basically March, but there's something to be said here for them saying February 8th, 2022. Hey, listen. I want to, and this is, please, again, skip ahead, to everything related. I put the time chapters in, but I really do want to bring something up here. I am somebody that wants CK3 to be in the best state possible. That is where I come from, okay? Obviously, I enjoy the game. Obviously, it is the main thing I do on the channel, but at the end of the day, if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. That's why I don't do other games such as EU4, right? Everybody enjoys different things. Now, I am, of course, as are many others that are in this position, that want the best game to be CK3, right? That want it to be up there. I am concerned. I mean, let's be really, 1.5 years, almost at the very least, for the first biggest expansion here. It is so fine. It feels so good to finally have this release date. It is a huge, huge step. It feels really, really good. But it's been a long time, right? Now, I will tell you, there is something here. There are several things that give me a lot of confidence, and I just wanted to bring that up because I don't think this gets acknowledged enough if it is in a positive sense. It does get acknowledged if it's in the negative sense, and keep acknowledging it if it's in the negative sense, but I would like to give some credit where credit is due here. We have something that clearly was a troublesome development. This birth wasn't easy. Right? We had the long period from after they announced it during PDXCon 2021, and then nothing. Then, all of these features were shown, and it was never even close to actually being out there. I thought that, the first big expansion would be out, let's say, maybe Q1, Q2 2021, so just like half a year at most, basically, after the release of CK3, and none of that happened. They were very transparent about this. They said, hey, listen, we worked in many people into the team. We had a bit of an issue there, that was very difficult to do because that takes away a very important time. And then working during COVID, of course, especially in an industry such as this one, where everything is creative, where you might want to do some brainstorming, where you might want to talk out features, all of that is much harder when everything is online. They talked about this, and still, listen, those are all good reasons, as far as I'm concerned. We are, sitting in the fourth wave here in Germany. It has been very tough on many people, and that is something that is reflected in the games and the products that we get as well, because people are working on them. But what they could have still done, and it's not outlandish of me to suggest this. I'm not saying, there's, somebody that is evil or good or whatever, but what I am saying is, think about Cyberpunk 2077. Think about, for example, GTA Definitive Edition. Think about, what is that other game called? Battlefield 2042. Oh my god, is that a mess? It doesn't have a scoreboard? Are you kidding me? What I want to highlight is, we always, and it is good, please keep noticing this. I want you to be an active, to be an understanding consumer, basically. We always highlight when management or whoever, it might be developers, there's a bit of an intertwined relationship there. Of course, management, gives the general guidelines, but who knows who didn't speak up and whatnot, right? It doesn't really matter. I'm not here to play the blame game. But when this stuff happens, where things are released too early, and let's be real here, the Definitive Edition, Battlefield 2042, why were they released in the state that they are in? Because of the Christmas sale. Now, I know this for a huge fact. I am a YouTuber, and as a YouTuber, you get ad rates, and these ad rates increase every year that you go towards Q4, so Q4. Why does it increase? That is because the Christmas sales, the holiday sales, are the biggest event for this entire industry. That is where the money is. People save up to gift something to their loved ones. Loved ones gift themselves something, to say, hey, I appreciate myself. That's nice. That is where the money is. And I will tell you, as much as this has clearly been troublesome, they have been transparent about it. I definitely, calculate that in the score. And at the same time, and I really want to highlight that, they still could have released it. Because many other companies do. Paradox, hey listen, Paradox has released stinkers. That's the way it is. Paradox has released games that were not where they needed to be. And in this case, for Crusader Kings III, for the Royal Court, and it's been a long time, and I hate that it's been a long time, but they decided, let's cancel Christmas. No, let's cancel the Christmas sale. We're not gonna, just release it because we could, because let's be really, technically they could have, but they didn't. And I will always be there to recognize when somebody has done something good, which I believe they have done here. I think this was a very, very solid choice. I wanted to bring it up because when something positive like this happens, I don't think it's highlighted enough. The fact that they had the guts, after all of the delays already, to say, we will forego the Christmas sales, the huge income boost that is expected there, instead of saying, no, we want to bring out this product in a finished way, fingers crossed that it will actually be finished, right? That is a huge step to me. Now, do I wish it was already out? Well, yeah, if it was good, but hey, if they decide 8th February 2022 is the appropriate time, then I gotta tell you, you don't see many companies delay games past the Christmas sale. That is commonly the last threshold. That is where you say, it doesn't matter, throw it out there. And they didn't do that. Now, what I want to do with you is I want to take a look at this announcement trailer, the release date announcement trailer, and then I want to take a look at with you at their Steam store page where there are some new screenshots. I would like to do that primarily, hey, this is not a substitute. I will not be actually watching this trailer. You should watch it on your own. Alexander Altner is speaking in the trailer, saying some things that you probably already know, some things that you may not know, but more importantly, and let's just go to the trailer right here, there are some pretty new things in this. So, this is the section that I want to watch. You can see a throne room right here. You can see this beautiful something Jesus, whatever this is about. There must be something in there. Maybe a relic, maybe the foreskin of Jesus, who knows? This is a Carling banner. I can see it right there. And then, yep, okay, we can do this actually. Look at this. Yo, I didn't notice this. This is the crown of Lombardy. This is the crown of Lombardy, right? The Iron Crown? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Oh, is she also wearing it? Hey, stop that. Listen, okay? Maybe she's his mother, but she shouldn't be wearing the same thing. Listen, it doesn't really matter. That's how CK3 works. The lighting in this scene is beautiful. The lighting in this scene is so soft. It is so, like, personal, sort of. So glorious. I am really enjoying the scenes that they have here, and I think that they must have really pushed, or are pushing, to make this more beautiful than they were even close to in previous screenshots. This is gorgeous, gorgeous light. Of course, the tapestry also beautiful. Right here we have an Indian throne room. I have to assume, I believe these may be the 4 types of throne rooms, actually. This is, like, Northern European, right? Then we have, I assume, Mediterranean right here. Then this would be Indian. And then the last one, you will see that in a second. Oh, no, this is, oh, I'm thinking of a screenshot, I think, actually. But look at these scenes, I swear to God. And you can see directly here, of course, this is, like, slightly different than the one that we saw earlier. This is the Byzantine Emperor, and he is wearing a new crown. Right? This is a new crown, I'm pretty sure. Did they ever talk about new assets? I don't think they ever talked about new assets. Well, either way, there's a lot of really good stuff in here. The lighting is really nice. I do think, like, this, like, clipping down there obviously shouldn't be the case, but, like, these bugs, you can fix them. I am more concerned with the topic of, hey, what does the actual scene look like? Because these tiny things you can fix, but if the actual scene looks horrible, then that is horrible. Hello, Alex, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Look at these beautiful, beautiful scenes. Oh my God, just look at them. No, I have to tell you, I sincerely, I love what they've done there. Now, let me go out of here and instead go to these screenshots. And you know what? I need to check something. Does it speak of? Oh, they put gives in. Oh my God, they put gives in. I don't think it even speaks of the question of the new assets. Are the new assets free, or are they in Royal Court? I have to assume they're Royal Court, right? Anyway, let's take a look at these screenshots here. Again, you should watch the trailer. The link is in the description. You should watch it yourself. Alexander Altner has a lot of interesting things to say that you may not know. This is the court of the Queen of Galicia. You can see her sitting right here on what looks like a custom, seat. This basically looks like I would say a Muslim seat. And then we have her husband here. The lighting is gorgeous. The lighting genuinely is drop dead gorgeous. This right here is really, really cool because what we can see right here, so the Egyptian throne is this one right here. He has a unique throne that is the same as his wife, very interesting. The Holy Banner of Muhammad, Banner of Thankfulness, Al-Dawat, Al-Hafir, Al-Saif Al-Kas, Prayers of the Orthodox. So many unique things. I cannot wait until we finally get to actually play with this, because I think that once you play with this, it will probably be incredibly hard to go back to play the other ones. I'll be real with you. Like, just the thought of being able to gather these, to create these, to collect these, to steal these, Speaking of stealing, right here we have an interface that I don't think we've seen before. At least I can't remember these buttons. You know, like obviously we've seen these sort of trinket lists, but like these buttons, I'm not sure. This is a scheme to steal an artifact that you have a claim on. The Medidan Annals, the Excellent Scriptures, Shiny Marquisa's Burnish Mail, and Thostolf's Spear. Very interesting. No, they're all landowners. I'm not sure what this means. So this is probably the scheme. This may be like asking them, like, you know, it looks like writing them a letter, and this could be a duel, or it could be warfare. I'm actually not sure, but I really like this interface in terms of, you know, the immediate options that you have here. I really enjoy looking at this. This is the classic interface. We've seen this before. I don't think there's much new here. Yeah, I don't think really. Caliph Izzadin's Regalia. How'd you get that? Oh, it's the year 1067. Wait, now I'm so confused. Yeah, how did you get that? The Fatimid Brooch. Did you beat up the Fatimids? Wait, but when did you do this? Because, like, it's the year 1067. Did somebody cheat here? Devs, legally you have to tell me if you cheated. Right here we have court positions. I'm pretty sure this is the only thing that I want to take a look at, but I'm pretty sure that, like, these cards got a revamped look. I don't recognize them at the very least. Right here we have just court amenities. I love the dust particles and whatnot. I love the lighting. Seriously, the smoothed out lighting. It unironically, man, I played Minecraft when it was in its alpha, right? And back then you didn't have smooth out lighting, so like the next lighting step would just be the next block over, and it feels the same way. All of a sudden, look at how smooth this lighting is. Who did this? Who's this magician? Right here, this is pretty classic stuff. The Mercians are diverging, then they're actually doing it. You can see it right there. And then we have the Mercians, we have the Burgauer, we have Göttingen, we have Vogtländer, we have Carantanians, Austrians apparently. We have the Briers. Anything else? Ruthenian, I think, probably diverged as well. This appears to be a world where people wildly diverge. Now, there are plenty of settings. We know that, of course, already from the dev day. But I gotta tell you, I think they did some splendid work right here. There is so much good stuff in these screenshots. Again, really curious about, like, the seemingly new... No, not you. They only had it in the video. I can't see any new, like, clothing artifacts, at least when I look at this. Yeah, nothing that really springs into my eye. No, not here either. I think this is an HRE asset. Anyway, let's take a look at the actual dev diary, because the dev diary, surprisingly, surprise, this was already really cool, but the dev diary also has a lot of good stuff. Inspiration will strike characters at various times and will mean that they have an artifact or a type of artifact that they want to make for someone who is willing to fund their work. The adventurer is a somewhat unique type of inspiration in that it is much less clear what this person will present to you in the end. Instead, this is a character who knows what they want, that they want to undertake a journey to explore and look for an interesting thing for you and your court. Can't read anymore. Sponsor inspiration, it is censor. Adventure inspirations are based on prowess, diplomacy, and learning. Okay. His skill is merely decent. That is not that good. And he wants to go to Asia Minor. I love this. He wants to go to Asia Minor. These are actual quests. They're actually giving us quests. I love that. I hope that this template can be utilized by modders as well. But this is really cool. The French Paradox has logged on, by the way. The French Paradox has logged on. I wonder what the German paradox is about. How far away a region that an adventurer will want to target with the expedition is mainly dependent on their skill, and generally the adventurer already knows where they want to head when they appear to seek your patronage. Of course, this makes sense. This is merely decent, so that means he only wants to go to Asia Minor. Otherwise, it could have been Sweden, for example. A highly skilled adventurer might leave the choice of destination up to you. I like this a lot. They will ask you what type of thing they should be looking for. You can let them decide for themselves as their adventure unfolds, or you can ask them for a general category of object from the get-go, see below. Depending on the adventurer's skill, you may even be able to ask them to look for something unique, which will make them actively search for one of the unique historical artifacts that exist in the game. Nothing is entirely certain though, and even an adventurer of low skill might run into something interesting if you tell them to keep an eye open for anything interesting. It is just less likely than asking someone with higher skill to do so. I really like this. Inspiration funded. Let's take a look at Censor. What's he doing here? The time has come for me to depart upon my adventure. My Sultan Al-Muazzam, my beneficiary Censor, bows as well as he can while weighted down by heavy bags. I seriously cannot read. Before I leave, please tell me, is there anything specific you want me to keep an eye peeled for during my journey? Bring me something from an exotic animal, a skull or a hide. I want a trinket made from material you cannot find here. What about, a worm on a string? A tapestry or artwork that makes me wish I was there. I trust your instincts to bring me something great. He is inspired. Of course, he's going to Asia Minor. He's going to have a great time. The above are the most common choices. Animal trophies, artwork, or trinkets are all potential court artifacts that the adventurer can go looking for. When giving free reins, you may also end up with a piece of armor or a weapon from that region with a visual appearance and local technique to match. I love that. I love that. Like, there is so much possibility. It sounds like modders can even, for example, and I keep jumping to the modders, but that's just because, like, I have Elder Kings 2 right now who launched their Twitter account just tonight. I have them on my mind, right? But, like, just imagine. You can assign, you know, like, what it looks like, where the artifact comes from, where you can find it, and so on. Let's say you know, I rule in Skyrim, and I send somebody to Hammerfell, and they come back with a curved sword. A curved sword! I would actually love that. I think what they're doing here is such a good thing. Seriously, this Dev, listen, I love all of the systems that they're implementing, but I had heavy criticism for a couple of them. You know, that's just the way it is. You can't love everything, right? And maybe I'll come around, you know, as I play it. It depends on how it is. Who knows? But this system right here, this is golden. There's also a small chance that an adventurer who is told to trust their own instincts could return with something more rare and unique. Inspiration, Whispers of a Beast. I receive a missive from my adventurer who has been drifting through floodplains on a raft. My lord, we have been hunted on our travels by a creature so fearsome, I almost loathe to write of it. The crocodile can grow up to 50 steps long and is a monster which has swallowed one of our mules whole. It is a slender beast with a body in the shape of an arrow, bearing a beak at the helm and a rattling tail at the rear. The spikes and bumps covering it are poisonous to the touch. Ooh, look at that. I love this. So you send somebody down to Egypt. Now I will say, the Byzantines may know about Egypt because they used to rule it, but that's been a long time ago. So you know what? Actually, this is a fair one. Look at him go. We shall impress visitors with a tapestry of this monster. Oh, it is too horrible to be true. I love it. As an adventurer sets out on a hunt for an artifact to please his employer, he or she will send occasional updates to you. Apart from letting you know what happened in the various places the adventurer visited, these events will let you guide them further, potentially impacting the quality of what they bring you home in the end or the length of their journey, right? So basically, I assume this is similar to how in CK2, I think this is also in CK3, did they say anything about this? Maybe they didn't, but in CK2 this was true, where they sometimes would be like, could you please give me another 50 bucks for better materials, and then you can say yes or no, and that gives you a chance of increasing the quality, right? I assume this is basically similar here. Inspiration, not unreasonable squalor. A missive arrives from my adventurer. It is so caked in mud, I must cut it open with a knife. My lord, I am in a wetland swamp, and all my years of tutelage have not prepared me for it. I am wading through sloshing oozes night and day. Last night, I dreamt of a lover's embrace, and awoke to find a newt was at my lips instead of a tongue. I was wondering if there were a slight chance I could go to a more suitable, I assume, location. As an indication of how obscene this place is, I have sent the spawn a frog laid in my sodden boots in a jar along with my message. It builds character. It builds character. I like that. If you wish to go to tamer lands, you may. I wonder... Wait, where is he? Located in Desmond. Oh, they sent him to Ireland. You're going to Ireland, Varjeslav. Goodbye. I like that. You can see we are Poland, so we sent him to Ireland indeed. Yeah, the Irish marshes are devilsome. The adventurer character will move around in the region the expedition is targeted, and events as well as their in-game location will reflect what barony they are currently in. Boom. Do the same for pilgrimages. Do the same for kowtowing to China. Do the same for, I don't know, going to your liege to swear allegiance. I love this system. This is so good. Let's take a look at this. Inspiration, a change in direction. A traveler claiming to be employed under my beneficiary, Liutbert, is brought before me carrying a message from the adventurer. Fear not, my great lord, for Liutbert is in good health. I bring you news of the possibility to fund an even greater adventure. You see, Liutbert took a wrong turn somewhere and is now near Gevedon. Gevedon, is that in Wales? Liutbert's traveling... I feel like it's in Wales. Liutbert's traveling companion unfurls a dirty map to show me where they ended up. He has enough funds to make it to southern Europe as planned, but... Oh, wait, then he must be like in France? Yeah, okay, Gévaudan also sounds French. Listen, okay, okay. French and Welsh, basically the same language. He has enough funds to make it to southern Europe as planned, but suggests that with some additional funding, he can chase up on a local rumor and bring home a great artifact. This is absurd. I'm not going to fund their self-indulgent outing. All Life's an Adventure explore that area for artifacts. He explores Gévaudan. The artifact produced through Liutbert's adventure inspiration will be of a higher quality. Gains 25 opinion of you. I like it a lot. This must be the person that is coming in to ask us this, and this is the actual adventure, at least from the looks of it. Sometimes things don't go as expected. Getting lost is not all that bad though, as it might mean reaching a region that was otherwise too far away from where they started. Let's take a look at this. We are still the Holy Roman Emperor. Inspiration. Bandits on the road. My liege. The adventurer Liutbert sends word, the servant exclaims, holding out a letter. For 10 days and 10 nights, me and my party have been hiding. The bandit lord Amalric has set up a blockade on the road we must travel. What do you advise? Caution, or should we fight them, trusting God to keep us safe? Signed, Liutbert. The parchment reads. It seems he is in quite a predicament. Keep laying low, they will move on eventually. No guts, no glory. Make them pay for wasting my time, or this gold should suffice as a bribe to let you pass. 36%, Liutbert steal away in the night and steal Amalric's gold. 60%, they just get away, and then only 4% of failure. You definitely go with keep laying low. It is an intrigue challenge for Liutbert against Amalric. So there is an actual, it's not just a percentage. These percentages are calculated based on where Liutbert is in his stats. Seriously, this system, but apply it to everything, okay? Apply it to everything. Oh my god. This gives me ideas. This gives me a lot of ideas for mechanics. There's videos in the future just talking about this stuff. Traveling abroad is always a risk, even for a seasoned adventurer. Let's take a look at this. Inspiration pub crawl. On a visit to the tavern in Klingenberg, which is where we are, I spy one of the patrons at the heart of all attention. He is more grizzled than the rest of the patrons and smells as if he has been there for an age. To my horror, I recognize my adventurer Liutbert, who appears not to have made it out of the homeland after months of funding. And for my next journey, I shall cross the Red Sea in a single gulp. He promptly scoffs an entire glass of red wine and cheering rings through the drinking hall. Get out of here and hit the road. Oh, charlatan! I'm not paying for any more of your drink. Stop sponsoring Liutbert's adventure. And there you go. Yeah, if he's a charlatan, then, you know, you gotta imprison him. Can we imprison him? Chastised beloved adventurer. Oh, he didn't. He gains the traits. Trunk. Screenshot of an adventurer was discovered as never having left the hometown of his employer, instead wasting the money on food and alcohol. Imagine getting letters and they're like, I have fought a dragon with the head of a boar and the legs of a dolphin. And he's just like sitting in your pub. Damn, that gotta hurt. Even the most promising adventurers can sometimes turn out to be charlatans or just plagued by the stress of the expectations placed upon them. Greetings from Anatolia. Wait, we are the Byzantines. My travels throughout Asia Minor have left me with quite a taste for lamb, yogurt and eggplants. Okay, and I've sent some recipes along with his courier. Recipe collection. I've been giving a golden brooch adorned with a seahorse by one of my hosts, which I also sent to you. I'm certain my travels will bring further wonders in due time. Order our chefs to prepare these dishes at once, or he seems to be having too much fun on this quest. Oh my god, are you actually funding 4 different... Are they funding 4 different inspirations while at war with the Seljuks? This Byzantine Emperor player has the biggest guts I've ever seen. Some updates are just short letters and the art trinket. Dionysios steals away in the night. Inspiration realized. My lord, my beneficiary Joseph announces his arrival in a surprisingly loud voice. He proudly holds up a package securely wrapped in cloth. I return from Europe with an artifact from my journey. I take the bulky bundle into my hands and loosen the cords before peeling layer after layer of fabric. Inside is the hide of a boar. Joseph tells me how he felt the vicious animal while I continue to admire the hide of what must have been a majestic animal. This is magnificent. Screenshot of an adventurer returning from the Netherlands with the hide of a defeated bear. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, it's a bear. It's not actually a boar. It's a bear apparently. Wait, it does read boar. Well, okay, it might be one or the other. No, it's a boar. Don't believe the screenshot under typing. Now here comes the even more interesting part. Seriously, I love this dev diary. Eventually the adventurer will return and present you with their find. Depending on the gold you gave them, this might be anything from a trophy made from a rare animal to a unique artifact. Let's talk unique artifacts. The Ark of the Covenant, ladies and gentlemen. We have it right here. We have it right here. This is the royal court of the Maharaja of Kalyani, Chalukya. They stole the Ark. Ark of the Covenant. Illustrious furniture. Piety +2 per month. Monthly renown. Domain taxes, same faith. Clergy opinion +10. Advantage in provinces with the same cultural heritage +5. And court grandeur bonus +6. This is actually insane. Like, that is a huge bonus. A large stone chest said to be the original Ark of the Covenant containing the stone tablets given to Moses by God. Let's read this baby. Unique artifacts are rarer things that don't correspond to any of the existing non-adventurer inspirations. They can be relics like one of the swords of Muhammad, a court artifact to be displayed rather than something to fight your enemies with. They also can be great diamonds or a weapon or crown once wielded by a known king of the past. As we mentioned in the previous diary, a unique or historical artifact is not always necessarily what it is claimed to be. As these artifacts are accepted as genuine by your contemporaries, they do however make a certain impression on them. Listen, a magic wand doesn't need to do magic to be giving off the impression that you now can do magic. That's the base idea here, right? In terms of rarity, a much larger number of these unique artifacts will be rated higher than other artifacts you would run in into in the game. Around 50 such historically unique artifacts can come to be found in the game, some of which might also exist in a court at start, depending on the start date. Should these be lost at any point, adventurers will be eligible to discover them again in their travels. Oh. That is actually, I didn't realize this when I read it initially, but that is so good. You basically go and you say, hey folks, this artifact is lost, but it's not. If I lose the papal tiara, not saying I'm gonna lose it, but if I lose the papal tiara, somebody else can find it. I really like that. I really, really like that. Wow. What artifact is found during an adventure depends on their skill as well as their destination. You won't find Kernbiter. I googled this. This is the sword of the King Harald I or something of Norway. He lived in the 10th century. That's all I know. On a journey in India, and also not unless you've played it past a certain year. So before, of course, 946 or whatever, Kernbiter can't be found afterwards. It is possible. Inspiration realized. My lord, my knight Sudislav announces his arrival in a surprisingly loud voice. He proudly holds up a package securely wrapped in cloth. I return from Rajasthan with an artifact from my journey. I take the bulky bundle into my hands and loosen the cords before peeling layer after layer of fabric. Inside, an artifact unlike anything I have seen before. Sudislav smiles proudly. Sudislav, I think. This enormous gem is said to have once adorned a temple statue before being stolen away by a greedy intruder. The Great Diamond. I do not know where that comes from, but it is the Great Diamond, and I will be damned if I don't love it. Since adventure inspirations are relatively more rare than other inspired characters, we have also tried to balance the effects of unique artifacts in a way as to make them worthwhile, even if they are meant to clearly not be supernatural. I gotta tell you, I have nothing negative to say about this mechanic. Listen, I always have something negative to say. Victoria 3 is purely me being like, but under considerations, I gotta... This one, every single aspect of this mechanic... Let me just reload to see whether there are any dev responses. Every single aspect of this mechanic is super good. I love this mechanic. Just in the game, this is great. You could cover so many other topics like pilgrimages, like, certain missions that you could give certain people. The French Paradox, you could send the French Paradox on a quest, for example, to, assassinate somebody. And that assassination could have these elements where they physically are actually present there as well. Imagine what mods can do. Being in, the world of the Game of Thrones, and and you say, I want to steal this dragon egg. Or I want to find a dragon egg. Make that one of these quests. After the end, finding a gun, from the pre-catastrophe time. Elder Kings, find an Elder Scrolls. This stuff is amazing. This stuff is so good. I love it. I really, really love it. This dev diary was written by Trintregula, I believe, or at least published by Trintregula. Trintregula was, I believe, on Imperator Rome before, right? Trintregula, I think it states Design Manager, CK3. Interesting. Design Manager, very, very interesting. This is an amazing dev diary. That's all I have to say. I hope you have a great day. Let me know what you think about it. And I'll just see you later, alligator. This was outstanding. Cheers.